great survey by the IDC, which states that 16% of companies that were surveyed by them, this is largely in North America but also around the world, 16% of companies surveyed by them are using online backup today. And I believe that the survey was done towards the end of 2010. 69% are evaluating it or planning to use it. So that is an effective snapshot, a pie chart of your business opportunity when you're talking about selling online backup. It's massive. We have a question from Austin. He wants to know, is there a copy of the PowerPoint presentation that he can get? Yes, absolutely. I can give it to your partner specialist, and you can also get it from us via an email after the webinar. You'll be sent that email just because you attended. Any other questions, please feel free to ask. And if there aren't any right now, I'll go ahead and keep going. So what are SMBs looking for? When we refer back to that little statistic from the IDC, we were talking about SMBs. There's 69% of SMBs that are planning on using online backup. So if that market share and that potential is so huge, we want to make sure we give them the right thing, right? Fortunately, there's also a lot of great research out there about what they want. Primarily, SMBs want total business data protection, largely because they're required to have it by various government regulations like SSA E16 and HIPAA. So they want complete backup for workstations, servers, laptops, and mobile devices. This is commonly referred to as business continuity and disaster recovery. So they want a total business continuity and disaster recovery application. And they want to be able to get it from one service provider. So that means you. They want somebody that is able to provide them a total business continuity solution. And this, more often than not, in the minds of business owners, means someone who's going to come out and provide all of their IT solutions for them. And they love getting it from one place, from one person, or one company, as it may be. So it's very important to make sure that you're prepared to serve SMBs. And when we say SMBs, we're usually thinking of companies with fewer than 500 employees. The definition varies depending on where you are, but it's generally fewer than 500 employees. So how many of you online today have customers that fall into that category? Or are you serving residential customers? Just type in the chat and let me know. And that will also help me tailor my points in the presentation to make sure that you're getting the most out of this that I can possibly give you. 5 to 20 users, okay. Mike's got residential. All right, Mike, please feel free to ask me specific questions about residential because I am going to talk a lot about business offerings here, but it certainly applies to residential as well. Trent's got 10 to 50. Okay, cool, very cool. So what's in the SOS 360-degree Partner Program that will help you cater to your SMB and your residential customers? We offer what we like to call a business in a box. It includes a website template, and on this website template, you'll be able to update content, change your logo, change your colors, even change your SEO metadata if you want to. And it includes integrated billing. So we have relationships with PayPal, Enterprise.net, Paygate, and eWay. The latter two you might not have heard of because they're usually used in Australia and South Africa. We have relationships with these companies that allow you to put your merchant gateway into this website template. No money ever passes through our hands, but it does enable you to sell online backup, your branded online backup solution, on your website template. So how many of you currently have a website, and are you using it for passive sales? Are you using it to sell any of your products, even online backup? This website will help you do that, and it is included. It's not an additional cost. Ahmed says he does. Good. That's awesome. So for those of you who do have existing websites, you can use our APIs. So just because you have an existing website doesn't mean that you would have to start a second one with this website template. You can use our existing APIs, and we do have documentation on that for you. So that would allow you to integrate with our account provisioning system and sell online backup through us on your existing website. We're pretty proud of how flexible that program is. Okay, so in addition to customized branding being available on the site, this website template actually is pretty powerful and does allow you to do a lot of other things too. You can monitor all of your customers' activity. You can provision their accounts manually or automatically if you'd like to. You can keep all of their contact information there, so it's really a mini customer management system as well. Additional features of the program are weekly live trainings. So you do have access to tech and admin trainings on a weekly basis with our staff. We include rebrandable sales and marketing materials, and of course, the software client is rebranded. And very importantly, we have no hardware purchase that's required. So the startup fee is just a simple monthly fee, just easy to get you going. It's kind of like a cell phone bill. I have a question from Trent. Is there a charge for the API? No, absolutely not. It's included in the program. And Harry asked, does your template support WordPress? You could add a link to a WordPress blog, but it doesn't support integration of WordPress. We do offer a connection with our web design firm that has worked on the template, so that may be something that you could ask them about, but I do not believe it supports WordPress, no. Thanks for the questions, guys. Please keep them coming if you got them. I love answering questions. So what is the SOS 360-degree Partner Program compared to others out there? Of course, I can talk about how it stands alone, but how does it compare to others? Because I'm sure you're out there shopping. Number one is our partner support. This is obviously very important to you. And our partner support is 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, based in the United States. We do have some reps available for overflow hours, but largely it is 12 hours a day, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 5 days a week. We offer post-sale business development assistance. So we have a fellow on site. His name is Mike Zarudny, and his job is to make sure that you are selling. And so there may be various reasons why you need assistance selling. Maybe you want help with your sales pitches. Maybe you want help with your marketing plans. Maybe you want help with your pricing. He's there to help you do that, and that, again, is included. That is no additional charge. And, of course, your client will be rebranded. This is a wholly white label service. Marketing materials, sales materials available for your rebranding. They're just in .doc format or .pptx format. You can update them as you like. Online sales capability, integrated billing. This is really an unheard of feature. Usually, when you see this feature, it means that it's unbranded and it means that it's an affiliate program, and that is absolutely not what this is. It includes the rebranding as well as all the flexibility of a very integrated partner program. We have data centers in the UK, US, Canada, Australia, and South Africa. By default, most data is backed up in the United States, but if you have a specific request, perhaps you need data backed up to our Toronto data center, we can definitely accommodate that. So now I'll go a bit more into the SOS Online Backup product suite. Of course, our bread and butter is really on the left. We started as a consumer backup company and moved into being primarily like power user micro business, SMB backup company, but where we won all of our awards in our consumer backup. And so that is for PCs and Macs. We have won the PC Magazine Editor's Choice Award 4 times for our PC backup application. We also offer non-SOS branded iPhone and Android applications for all of your customers to use, and this is included in the program. Of course, for your businesses and consumers, we are excellent at backing up and encrypting file data. This is documents, images, and emails of any kind. We do not restrict the type of file that you can back up with our program. And our SOS ServerSave product, which I'll talk a bit more about in a second, is key for backing up all of your system data and app data. So this is bare metal image backup to the cloud for SQL servers, Exchange servers, and Sharepoint. A bit more about SOS ServerSave for those of you on the line who have SMBs that you need to back up. These are our core programs. About 90% of our partners come on with the SOS ServerSave program, but for those of you like Harry and Mike, you're not required to. You can certainly buy a file and folder only for your residential customers. SOS ServerSave includes Exchange backup and granular recovery. So this enables you to take a bare metal image of an Exchange server and perform granular recovery to get back mail, messages, contacts, and anything that would have been in the inbox. and it includes bare metal image creators. So this is our bare metal image software. It'll take an image of any Windows-based server and send it straight to the cloud with Online Backup and Recovery Manager. And this is the application that will be rebranded for you. It'll have your logo on it. Online Backup and Recovery Manager is a high-speed online backup tool that encrypts data when it is going to the locally first, in transit, and then finally at rest in the data center. And of course, we include Premier Web Integration, like we've talked about. That's the website template, and access to our mobile applications. We have a question from Dennis. Will it be possible to also have a reseller structure? Do you mean where you are reselling as well? If so, yes, absolutely. We do have several partners that do that. Tell me a little bit more about that. Hopefully I've answered your question properly. If not, please give me some more info so I can try to answer it the best I can. SOS ServerSave competes with an entirely different segment of the backup population. So if you are looking at selling residential, you're probably looking at comparing SOS to like Mozy, Carbonite, maybe Backblaze, and you may be looking at affiliate-type programs, of which we are presently a wholesale program. But SOS ServerSave, if you're looking to compare to other SMB reseller products, is very competitive. I won't bother going over this line by line because you guys will get a copy later, but I will go over the really important parts where SOS surely stands out, and one of those is in total protection coverage. What I mean by this is the ability to have automatic and infinite file archiving. For some customers, particularly financial firms and legal firms, it is critical to be able to have access to data from backups at any point in time. Many providers out there limit the amount of time that you would have access to a backup, maybe even something like 30 or 45 days. And that just isn't helpful when you're working with a customer who may need access to backups for 3 years or even 7 years. So we do allow you to do that. And we only use gig space for the incremental change. We do not use gig space for backing up the entire document again. So that's a critical point for those of you that are selling to SMBs. They will be able to have access to their data literally forever. For mobile access, we also really stand out here. As far as I know, we're one of the only partner programs that enable you to have Android backup as well as iPhone backup and use that in a non-SOS branded format and give that to your customers. And that's also another opportunity for you to make additional revenue as well, since that is bundled into the program. And we also offer unlimited seats per account. So many programs out there offer a lot of complication and confusion when they get into different types of licensing. And they offer sometimes different licensing for desktops, different licensing for laptops, different licensing for different types of servers. We do not do that. We'll go over the pricing here in a little bit, but we try to keep it very, very simple and do not charge separate licensing for desktops. And then finally, I want to talk about the type of bare metal backup that we do. It's called transactionally consistent, which is in opposition to crash consistent. Transactionally consistent bare metal image backups mean that if you have two servers that are talking together at the same time, let's say you have a couple of SQL servers that are transferring data back and forth to each other, a transactionally consistent backup will interact with those servers and say, hey, guys, servers, are you done transferring your data now? If you are, only then am I going to take an image, because I don't want to take an image while you're in the midst of talking to each other. If I do, I might miss some information. That would be crash consistent backup. So transactionally consistent backup is very, very important for businesses that have perhaps e-commerce servers that are processing large amounts of data, but they want to take bare metal images of them. It'll ensure that you don't miss any data that's being backed up. I'll pause quickly for any questions. Okay, if no questions, I'll go ahead and move on to data centers and infrastructure. So in North America, we do have data centers in Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, Toronto, And if you do want to request one of those data centers specifically, we can certainly do that for you. We offer 11 global points of presence. And of course, we also have data centers outside of the United States and Canada. We have them in Melbourne, Australia, Cape Town, South Africa, and London. All of our data centers are either Tier 3 or Tier 4, which effectively means they are military grade. The U.S. government would also be perfectly happy to back up their data in these data centers. All of them are secured with 24/7 watch, video surveillance, biometric credential requirements, backup generators, and temperature and humidity controls. All right, so what we are all here for today, your first 3 steps to becoming an MSP. It sounds like a lot of you guys on the line are probably pretty experienced IT service providers, so if any of this stuff is old hat to you, please let me know. But for those of you that are newer and considering starting your own managed service provider business or becoming an IT consultant, this will probably be really helpful to you. Number 1 is to think big but start small. Again, really critical if you're starting your business. Thinking big is great for the long term, and you need to do it. It's going to be essential to helping you strategize. You need to envision what you want your business to be. Your business will never be anything if you can't envision what you want it to be. I do it every single day as Director of Marketing. I envision what I want my department to be and what I want my department to be able to accomplish. I have to think long term. So you need to decide for yourself, what do you want to sell? What kind of revenue do you think you can make? And then what and how much do you need to sell in order to get there? That's your long-term thinking. That's your 2-year plan. But you can't do that today. You need to start small. Start with the customers and products that you have access to for the next 2 to 4 months and continue to build on that. Identify your quick-to-answer questions that will give you solutions, that will give you results immediately. So the number 1 question you ask yourself when you're starting small is, how do you pitch these customers? And then you survey them and determine what they want. Adjust your pitch accordingly. And if you can, have strategic conversations with your customers. All of this will help you identify what they want and be able to pitch them appropriately. And that's going to help you grow your business and truly become an MSP. We've got some questions on the line, and I will answer those when we get through these 3 steps. And then the second thing you need to do in order to become an MSP is to identify your product offerings. Being a managed service provider means exactly that. You are hired to manage multiple services. So you effectively have a product mix, just like any large organization. And the customers that hire you want access to that product mix. They want the person who is an expert at handling that product mix. So what are some of these things? First of all, your customers want all these things from one person in order to keep their business running smoothly, especially in times of unpredictable disaster. And this, again, is truly business continuity. So what are some of these things that they would want from you? Online backup for desktop servers, applications, and operating systems, just like we've been talking about. Probably would want antivirus. They would want hardware maintenance. And potentially, if the customers are large enough, they'd want creation of secondary work sites. So in the event of a big disaster, they'd want to be able to work in another location. And maybe that work site is home for all of these end users. And this is a big one. I could do an entire presentation just on this, but finally, be very, very careful that you don't talk price, but you talk value. What are you selling? Are you selling a Yugo or are you selling a Honda? Hopefully you feel like you're selling a Honda or even a Maserati. You really should be focused on selling everything that is involved in the product and what the end result is from the purchase, not just the price itself. If you get stuck in discussing price, you're never going to get out of it. And that's a pretty horrible place to be in as a business owner or someone who's trying to grow their business. So focusing on price to sell your service will lead you to decreasing your revenue pretty much immediately. So don't start out on that foot. Sell everything that you have to offer, not just your cheapest solution. Don't ever start there. Price is easier for the customer to argue with. Price is because it is tangible and value is not. once you're debating price, you just can't start establishing value. Establishing value is the place to start, and you really have nowhere to go but up from there. But if you start with price, you're never going to get out of that little hole you've dug yourself in. So what is value? Value is akin to selling a Honda. A Honda salesperson is never going to focus on price. They're going to focus on the long-term benefits of having that car. So sell your customers the long-term advantage. They may spend money with you today, they may for the next several months, and hopefully they do. And hopefully they see the long-term benefit of doing that. So primarily the long-term benefit of selling business continuity solutions is saving yourself from undue expense later on, undue heartache and distraction from running your business, or just even losing your home data. It's horribly distracting and something that nobody wants to deal with. So the benefit is internal and it is emotional, and it's lacking the stress from later on if you do lose your data. So make sure that you discuss the unrealized benefits of your offering. So the realized benefits are the ones that are directly in front of them. Okay, I can put my data in the cloud. Great, where do I go from there? Well, there are a number of unrealized benefits from doing that. You can get it back at any time. You can share it. You can put it back on your computer if you buy a new computer. You can put it back on your phone if you buy a new phone. Those things aren't happening today, which is why they're unrealized, but they're going to happen in the future. Brag about yourself. Don't be shy. Surely you have other customers out there in the world who maybe you haven't done online backup for, maybe you've done antivirus for them, but they'd be more than happy to talk about how great you are. Don't be shy. Certainly use people to brag about yourself. And like I've been saying, focus on intangible benefits. This is your peace of mind. This is your, well, in the future, if you have a data recovery issue, you'll at least be able to recover your data. You won't be having to worry about, oh, how am I going to recreate it? I've got a question from Dennis. We are a fax to email service provider, and we have many resellers that provide our service under their website and to many clients of their own. We give all our resellers a percentage of revenue that is generated. Okay, yeah, we can absolutely work with you on that. Our programs are really flexible and customizable, so we do have some customers that do that. Can you let me know who your partner specialist is, Dennis? And if you don't know, then I'll certainly find one for you. Since that is a specific situation that we would need to offer you a bit of a customized solution for, I just want to let them know. Stephen asked, do you have a chart of unrealized and intangible benefits? I do not, largely because I think that they're going to vary dependent upon your customer. And this is something that you would find when you are surveying your customers and having strategic conversations with them. You'd be able to learn about what exactly their pain points are. So their pain points, their specific pain points, are going to be those intangible benefits. So for example, I got in a car accident yesterday. So a pain point for me is that my bumper is now all screwed up, and I'm really upset about it. I want to get it done quickly. So if you are offering auto body services to me, you've just found out from me that I want it fixed quickly. That's my primary concern. My primary concern isn't getting it fixed, but getting it fixed quickly. So the intangible benefit to me would be if you could come to my place of business, or if you could meet me after hours, if you could service me after hours. That would be an intangible benefit to me. So sure, I could provide a general list of intangible benefits, but it might not necessarily match your customers. Okay, Stephen wants to know what kind of pain points to address. Generally, the online backup and recovery type of pain points are compliance. Hopefully your customers care about compliance if they're business customers. Still, you need to delve into that a bit more to learn what about compliance their issue might be. They're probably concerned about data loss for endpoints primarily. You may find out more about that. You may find out that they're allowing their employees to bring their own devices. In that case, you'd need to know that you're backing up devices that aren't necessarily owned by the company. And you'd want to be able to tell your customer that that's something that they could do with you. hopefully that helps. I had not prepared this for you, but again, just like Dennis, let me know who your partner specialist is, and I'll make sure that this is something that they talk about you with. Talk with to you, sorry. All right, finally, pricing and revenue opportunity. So hopefully this is something you guys all want to hear about. And also let me know how many of you guys have already done your ROI analysis with your partner specialist. This is probably much more important than doing going over pricing and revenue opportunity, because the ROI analysis will take into account who your current customers are, also who you want to be your customers, and then identify what plan is right for you and how much you'll be able to make on your plans. Hi, EdgeK, I remember you from before. Welcome. So what are our basic entry points for this program? Number one is ServerSave 5. So this means that you get 5 server licenses and 1 terabyte of cloud space. This costs $399 per month. You can also buy annually, but $399 per month is the base price for this. That breaks down to, on average, being $80 per server license. So by the way, our server licenses can be used on any kind of server that you like. They do not have to be used on a specific kind of server. So let's say, for example, you need to back up 3 SQL servers and 2 Exchange servers. That's fine. You can do that. You need to back up 4 Exchange servers and 1 SQL server. Fine, no problem. You can do that. We do not charge different licensing fees based on the type of server that you're backing up. Our plans are flexible, so if you do need to alter these, that's fine. Just talk to your partner specialist about that. We do not limit your margin or take a commission based on the sales that you make. It's all up to you. It's all yours. You can add server licenses and gigs as you grow your business. And, of course, business development assistance is available to you after you get started. So Mike Zrudny, our lovely business development manager, will be available to help you with sales, pricing, marketing, anything like that. So let's say you enter at SOS ServerSave 5 and then you find out in 6 months that your demand is very high and you like to move up to SOS ServerSave 10. That means you get an additional 5 server licenses, and that is just dandy. It's an easy program to change and adjust. We've got a question from Jaco, hopefully, or I hope I'm saying that right. Cloud space of 1 terabyte per server or per 5 servers? It's per 5 servers. It's just how this is packaged. So you bring up a really great point that I'd like to address, and that's also that the 1 terabyte in the SOS ServerSave 5 package does not mean that you have to use those gigs for those server licenses. You can use them however you want. For example, let's say you only use 750 gigabytes on backing up 5 servers. You can use the remainder to back up endpoints if you like. Hopefully that makes sense and I answered your question. HK asked, monthly price is for the 5 licenses as well. Yes, it's combined. It's combined. So $399 per month gets you 1 terabyte and 5 server licenses. Same thing for all the prices on the board here. Okay. Any more questions on pricing? Okay, got a question from Ahmed. Can that space be used for WS? I'm going to assume you mean workstations or other computers in addition to the 5 servers. Yes, absolutely. You can provision that 1 terabyte however you like. Got another question from EdgeK. What do you mean by monthly cost per server? So if I take the average, if I take $399 and divide it by 5, I get approximately $80. So it's not an additional price. It's just a division. So it's just $399 divided by 5. And the purpose of putting that up here is to illustrate your margin potential. So if on average you've paid $80 per each server and then approximately 250 gigabytes per each, 200 gigabytes per each, then if you were to sell at our suggested retail price of $129 per month, you'd be making $49 per month margin per server license. And then if you were selling all 5 of your server licenses your monthly margin per package would be $246 per month. Got a question? From 5 to 10 servers, if only more space is needed, is a large jump? No, absolutely not. And that can be customized for you. So you would only be charged for additional gigs. Ahmed asks, is a restore needed? If a restore is needed, how fast can 250 gigabytes be retrieved? Or if it is possible to have the data overnighted? Yes, you can do that. We would call that our physical media download. But yes, we do offer that. And we also offer a product that's in beta if you wanted to be involved in the beta. They can help you do that faster. Yuling asks, is cloud space per license? No, absolutely not. Think of cloud space just as a big bucket of gigs. And think of your server licenses as a bucket of server licenses. You can mix and match them however you want. So cloud space is just a chunk of cloud space, and server licenses is just a chunk of server licenses. Dennis, I'm not sure which question you're referring to, so let me know. I'm happy to explain it for you. Do we have any more questions on pricing right here? If not, I'm going to go ahead and take you guys over to the dashboard and show you the lovely facelift that just received, which I'm very, very proud of. Okay, looks like no more questions. Let's go on over here to the dashboard. So the dashboard is our centralized management system. This is everywhere where you would manage all of your backups. You would monitor your backups, you would deploy your backups, you would do just about everything in here. All right. So up at the top, you can see the number of server licenses that have been deployed and the number of server licenses that this account has, and also the online space, so that's your gigs, that have been used. So that's a really cool, quick snapshot so you can see exactly where you're at for all of your accounts that you've provisioned. In the central management section, we have access to view all of your accounts. Yeah, this one has a lot of test and trial accounts with it, and also the policies that are associated with it. So you can create individual backup policies here. You can also access your rebranding settings. So this is where you will update your icons and also URLs that are linked to from within the client. So this is your true white labeling system. You'll be able to change the logo that appears within the client, the product name that appears within the client, and the desktop icon. You can set your remote backup policies and create them. So what you would do is download our MSI and then deploy online backup across all of your computers or all of your customers' computers with an MSP, and we do have instructions for doing that. You'll be able to monitor backup activity. So we have a lot of failed backup activities in here because there are a lot of trial and test accounts that just aren't real. So let's search for any OK results. So these indicators identify whether or not a backup failed. A backup failed recently and probably should be addressed, or if everything is OK and in progress. So for example, we've got one in progress right here. So there's not really any information about it, but it's estimated to have a duration of 9 minutes, 59 seconds. This one has been completed, so we can see how long it took, how many files were uploaded, in this case 0, how many files with errors, and unchanged, and total files processed. You can also identify the account, the system, and the overall status. You can also have this sent to an address for daily monitoring and export it to Excel. We also have access to our Partner Resource Center here, which I'll lead you to in just a minute. You can go through backup history and monitoring settings, in monitoring settings, you can identify specific settings for each account, which is really, really helpful if you do have a large number of customers. Got a question from Stephen. Sometimes a backup misses a few files. Is there a way to quickly back up just the missed files? Yeah, there is. You can definitely go into the tree view of the software client for that computer and identify those files and back them up. From here, we do have quick access to the website integration package. You can add a new account straight from this dashboard. It'll take you over here. You can manage your server licenses or buy more licenses, and of course you have access to all of your downloads here. So the SOS ServerSave installer, Online Backup and Recovery Manager for Mac and Windows, as well as access to our user guide. The really cool thing about this that I think is important to note is that when you download the Mac or Windows program from this dashboard, it'll already have your logo in it because you just updated it up here. Really easy. Got a few questions. Ahmed says, for a redundant server backup, is this considered another server for license purposes? I have not heard that question before. Let me write that down and get back to you afterwards. HK asks, can we please access this webinar in PDF or PowerPoint copy? Sure, absolutely. Ahmed, do you know who your partner specialist is? If you do, just type it in the chat for me. That would be really helpful. Okay, I'm going to go on to show you guys the Partner Resource Center, and it's something else that is near and dear to my heart. So when I'm talking about all the rebrandable sales and marketing materials that are available for you guys, they're all in here. So you have sales presentations and guides. So this is just a simple PowerPoint template that you can put your logo on, you can put your designs on, you can edit if you want to, and it is very similar to the presentation that I just went through. Sales and Marketing Resource Book. We also have a disaster recovery template, so if you want to go into one of your customers and sell them a total business continuity solution, you can use this to help get you there. We have a lot of information on compliance guidelines. So when we were talking about pain points, Stephen, this would be one thing that you could use to address your customer's pain point if, for example, compliance is something that they're concerned about. We offer a large number of email marketing templates, which you can customize, marketing presentations, sell sheets that you can customize, and retail pricing information. So this is information on what we find to be market competitive prices and what we recommend you sell the product at. We also have administrative training videos, technical training videos, and installation and user guides. We've got some questions. Stephen asks, is there a way to back up missed files from a distance if, oops, sorry, lost you for a second, if we are providing managed backup service? I believe that there is, but I do feel like someone more technical than me needs to answer that question. So let me write you down. Okay, got some more questions. Ahmed says, can the backup process be limited to certain times of the day per backup profile? That may be a new feature that we have. Again, I'm really sorry, I don't know the answer to that. Derek would have if he had been here. HK asked, or your email marketing template is really impressive. Thank you very much. Ahmed says, time of day, I mean like limit to 12 p.m. to 6 a.m. Yes, you can do that. That can be part of your scheduling. So we do have hourly scheduling. And Dennis, yeah, I was wondering if you know who your partner specialist is, and you could let me know, and I could relay our conversation here with them, make sure that they answer all of your questions correctly. If you don't know, that's okay. All right. Are there any more questions? I have reached the end of my presentation, but I'll hang out for 30 seconds or so. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to ask. Harry says, I briefly mentioned an affiliate program. I was referring to others. I was not referring to SOS. Sorry for any confusion. Jaco asked, invoicing automated through portal? No, it's not automated through portal. It will be sent by our team. HK, you know what, my friend, since yes, the webinar PDF would be through your emails, but since you want it very, very much, I will send it to you personally, okay? Okay, any more questions? Yes. Yes, Dennis and Jacob, no problem, guys, no problem. Okay. Thank you guys very much for attending. I really appreciate it. You guys were a really great crowd. I love the interaction. I love the questions. And for anybody whose question I wasn't able to answer, I promise we'll get back to you with a real answer. Thank you very much.